Welcome, Assassins! I am Magnus Beasticus, and this week we are going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Unity. Joining me on the Council of SASA is...
Tommik.
And...
Brute.
And...
Rummy.
Alright, so let's start out with which Assassin's Creeds everyone has played so far. Start with you, Tommik.
I played the first one. Took me a while. First, second, third, and Black Flag.
Third being Brotherhood, or third being the third one?
Oh no, I didn't play the Brotherhood. Actually, just the original third one.
Yeah.
I never got to any of the other ones after that, like the little expansions and the Brotherhood ones.
Yeah.
Never did it.
Pretty good. Except for Brotherhood.
So I hear. But and then Black Flag, I picked it up again, and then Unity.
Did you beat all of those?
I did.
Oh, holy shit.
I am on the same with Tommik. I have beat number 1. Played part of the third, not Brotherhood. Did not beat Black Flag. Got about halfway through, and then I beat Unity. So.
What about you, Rummy?
Part of first, part of third, part of this one.
You've never beaten a single Assassin's Creed?
No, I always get bored with them and stop.
Alright, favorite Assassin's Creed really quick. Just to know where we're all at.
Ooh, that's tough. I like this one so far. Hopefully, nothing stupid happens to change my opinion. I'd have to say Black Flag is definitely my favorite so
Black
far.
Flag was so
I just really
amazing.
liked fucking people's
Shit
shits up.
combat?
Well,
What did you like Black Flag? What was your favorite that you played, even though you barely played any, Rummy?
So far this one, because I haven't lost interest in it so far. Like I do all the side missions, then I complete the main story. So that's why I usually get bored.
That's what I normally do too, but when there's a game where you have to do the main story to unlock, more of your weapons, then I'm like, fuck that.
You gotta
I want to do
kinda-
it via the side missions and then be really badass for the story missions.
Yeah.
That's how this one's a little bit different. What about you, Brew?
number 1. I have to go with number 1 just because of groundbreaking for me with, throwing knives in, like, you were a no joke assassin, which was awesome. I think that's what's going to be my
It's really
best.
weird. The first time I started playing that one, I stopped like halfway through because I just didn't like it. And then I saw my brother playing it, and then I was like, "Why did I stop?" And then I started playing it again and beat it all the way through. And I don't know why I didn't like it the first time.
The feeling of being an assassin I had it the most in the first one, just because of the difficulty, and you were effed if you were caught. And fighting the Templars was always like there's a Templar. I only have one throwing knife. My health's kind of low. Do I take him on? I don't know if I'll be able to find him again. I gotta do it though. And it was more of an Assassin's Creed than any other one. Even this one, it's like you do die very quickly, but you don't feel very vulnerable either.
Yeah.
It's like,
if you're going into a 5 diamond area, right? 5 diamond area, you have to. You're like, do I run? Oh wait, apparently while they're running, they can shoot me with a pistol.
yeah, and just
Through a crowd too. Yeah, like total perfect behind the neck headshots, and you're like, I'm like, and then it goes right to the people, and you're like, all
trying to
right.
weave in and out of the crowd so they hit maybe
Civilians and not me. Protect me.
Yeah. Oh my
I knew the
gosh.
French were such good shots. Jesus.
Well, I don't think you're fighting the French. Jeez, I didn't know until this game came out how little I knew about the French Revolution. So I don't know anything. I think the blue people are the French, and the red people are renegades.
Okay, so the red people were the radicalists. They were like way over the top, and the blue guys were like, well, we still like our king, and we like our like this kind of side of things. But they end up executing the king. That might have been a spoiler.
I read that one.
Well, everyone knows the king gets executed. Like, it's a historical event. So, I don't think it's a spoiler. So that's why they're a red in the game, is because they were always over the top. Like, they're always like, we'll kill everybody. And the blues are like, dude, hey, don't do that.
Extremists.
Speaking of which, the Eagle Vision, I feel, gets way too out of hand with what you can do. Every Assassin's Creed, I just saw a cutscene where the girl's like, what, are you like a sniffing dog or something like that? And he was like, well, kind of. And then you don't see anything, and then you turn on the Eagle Sense, and he senses all of the aromas or whatever in the area. And it was like, what the...
one of the missions where, actually several of the missions, when he starts and they're like, hey, you need to infiltrate this place, and it won't go into an eagle vision, but it'll go into him like, and like it'll like zoom in on what he's looking at, but it won't do the whole eagle vision, which I thought was a cool concept. But then once you become the character, it's like eagle vision, everything different colors. This is highlighted, this and this.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like,
so you're like,
he zooms into the conversation, somehow hears them from the top of the building.
Yeah.
We don't really get that at all. I don't know, it just seems like too much is being handed to you. I had the same problem with Far Cry 3, where you would just, like, look at somebody and then you knew where they were, regardless. Like, you would see them passing through a building or something like that. Like, I now know where they are at all times. In the first one, and even the second one a little bit, you could rationalize it. We're like, oh, it's just stronger senses, but now I don't... Like, he sees things that just are not there for other people on walls and things. Like, how does that... Is that in their genes? Are you born an assassin?
That's another thing. We're talking about, like, becoming an assassin was originally, like, insane. Like, to be an assassin, you had to be the top of the top of the top of 1%. Now, he fights in a prison for a couple months, and he's an assassin.
Well, it's the same thing with Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2. It's like, oh yeah, come on, become an assassin, no problem. Fist bump. Get in here.
What?
Black Flag.
Black Flag. He just threw it on. He just went for it. And you're like, no, I'm sorry.
And you're telling me to play these games?
Dude, it's like when you were a little kid and you dressed up for Halloween. When you were all dressed up, you felt like you were that person. It's like what happened in Black Flag. Like, you put on the assassin's outfit and all of a sudden you were an assassin.
I was Frankenstein for like 4th grade. It doesn't mean I became Frankenstein. Okay, just put on clothes and become an assassin.
It's been a little while since I played Black Flag. Wasn't he just teetering the line between both sides though?
He was a pirate.
Yeah,
that's all he was. He was just a pirate,
and he had the eagle vision.
How does that? What pirate had eagle vision? The treasure's
it's in his genes because he's actually Hathan Kenway's dad, which is the dad of the assassin Connor from the third game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it happened. Like, I don't know, but
why he became a pirate?
So I got this Assassin's Creed primarily for the cooperative play. Like, day one, I think we all. Except for you waited a little while because the Master Chief Collection didn't really pan out. But
oh god,
it's I was disappointed finding out that you can do the entire story and not have any part of the cooperative play whatsoever. Like, no story mission has a cooperative aspect to it.
And they even have so you go to the mission and it would be like max players 1, and you're like. Are you telling me that? Because obviously I knew that. Because you're not doing anything else with it. I can't have multiple players on this.
It's called Unity, but they're only separate missions that you can play with your friends.
Yeah, I know. Assassin's Creed, Unity, sometimes.
Yes. Unity kind of...
It would have been cool, like, if you could do, like, the multiplayer affected the campaign.
Yeah.
Kind of like with Mass Effect. Remember when you did like a multiplayer?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, like it would. I think it minorly affected the campaign. Like in the end, your guy would appear in a cutscene or something like that. And I'm a little bit confused about are there 4 Arnos? Like, if you guys are in my world.
Oh yes, when you ran up the building and I decided to follow, it was like, Arno, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, wait,
I'm Arno.
Yeah, I was like, but I'm Arno. Like, I don't know how that one had that. I think maybe that's another reason. Like, what would you in a storyline mission? You'd have to be like, this is my buddy,
Arno,
brother, Arno's brother. Like what? That'd be that's.
And how would it work for the story? How would it? Would it complete it for the other person as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just would have been cooler to see. Obviously, this is the first next generation game, the first game with co-op, and it seems very obvious because it's kind of glitchy. I don't know about you guys, but almost every, 8th fight, I'll be like this, and I'll be pressing A. I'll just be standing there pressing A in the direction of an enemy, and then they'll just die. They'll just, fall flat and die. And I'll be like, okay, well, that was One that was.
Well, we were doing a co-op mission. I was in the house and Brute was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm standing here." He's like, "No, you're not. You're dying." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And then I saw my health bar going down, and I'm just standing there by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't worry, I killed him for you." I'm like, "Who'd you kill?" I'm literally by myself.
An update came out today. I don't know what it covers, but after you kill somebody on a ledge, like you reach up and pull them over, you cannot come up over that. I don't know if that's just me. Or if you don't move side to side. So if you assassinate him and go to the side, you can come up. But if you straight assassinate and try and come up, I could not do it.
I promise you, I've only done that one animation twice, where you pull them over. Otherwise, I will try and be pressing X to assassinate them, but I'll just jump on the ledge and chill out until they see me, and then I just jump on them. I don't assassinate them for whatever reason, and then I get up and okay, let's fight now.
You can't.
That happens 90% of the time.
I get that someone sees you, but why can I still not jump and assassinate?
Yeah.
Like, I land on top of them, and I know his blade comes out, several inches.
You're lucky you spotted me. I'll give you this one. You get away this time.
I just keep falling through windows every time, like through the level. I'll jump through a window.
Oh, yeah.
It's the wrong window, man.
I was like, I gotta kill this guy.
Nope.
The only time I would like to see that happen is through an eagle dive. Just go right through the haystack and just be soaring down through the level. But otherwise, it just happens.
I got lucky. I don't think I've had that. I haven't had any of those major glitches, like when people's faces aren't there. Or
I haven't seen that either. I'm actually really excited to see that.
You guys don't. Well, I know when we got together in games, the guy won't be there for a minute or two, or it's really hard to get each other together in the co-op.
Yeah,
you got it.
That's
I can't
between this and the Master Chief Collection, sometimes the first 2 days that those came out, it was spending entire days trying to play with each other. I remember it was one time at least an hour. All four of us were trying to play together, and Rummy ultimately didn't even fucking play with us.
He never was like, "No, you can't play. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Shoot."
And then sometimes,
and I'm 5 feet away from him on mine. Like, I got in. Yeah. No problem.
I got messages from you when I was editing, like, "Hey man, like, what are you doing? Let's play or whatever." Like, you were talking to me as though I was in the game.
Oh, that's right.
But I wasn't even fucking playing. It was Brute that was me as Team SASA in the game. How does that even work?
And then it wasn't you. It was him that was Team SASA. So I was yelling at you, which was him, which was yelling at you. We were just working together.
But that being said, though, the cooperative play is, for being an Assassin's Creed, being a new experience, it is incredibly fun. And I'm excited to see what they do with the next Assassin's Creed. Unfortunately, I feel that I should have, just like Call of Duty, I should maybe have waited a little while for this one until the next game, because then they'll figure out all of the next generation problems, the next generation kinks, all of the co-op problems. Although, this co-op is really fucking fun.
This game had problems. I mean,
we played with us
like twice, and then wouldn't let me get on it after that.
So we talked about all the flaws, but overall, I still had a lot of fun with this game so far. I haven't even beat it yet.
You're talking about a game where you're an assassin that deals with weapons and gadgets and the ability to be stealthy everywhere, which is awesome now. Now I can hide behind little tiny things. Yet, what do I really have that's different? A Phantom Blade? We're in 1790.
No, not even the Phantom Blade. The Phantom Blade is just like a reskin of something you already had.
Exactly.
The load art.
So now when I go to weapons, I have 3 choices to my left. Let's see, a pistol, a rifle, a sword, and Phantom Blades. That's it. I don't have... apparently knives don't exist. And I can't fight with
Neanderthal. Guns exist now. I don't need knives.
I can't fight with it. You can't fight with the Phantom Blade. You can't fight with it for some reason. Like
the Hidden Blade. Yeah, that was so fun before. Just assassinating people and throwing down the smoke and assassinating people. I don't know if they did that for a difficulty reason, like, oh, don't give them too many options, otherwise no situation will be too difficult, like in the past. But
now, you're talking about their main thing on their website is like, you have a ranged new weapons. No, I have 4 weapons with different color schemes that pretty much do all the same damn thing. That's pretty much what it was.
Different statistics. Okay. Like, health bar will go down, like, a little bit more.
Yeah, one more square. You know? I mean, come on, man. Yeah. You got to do something with that. You can't just give me 3 weapons and I'm an assassin.
It's just plugging this game in and having it been a long time since playing Black Flag. I was really excited and really having a good time, but then the more you play, the more you start to realize that there is actually less in this video game than in previous Assassin's Creeds.
What happened to the rope knife thing that you used to like, hang people with?
So cool.
Like,
that rope knife was awesome.
Neanderthals.
Yeah. Rope?
The time.
Knives? Are you kidding me?
Come on. It's 17 what?
I liked it because it still took like skill and timing when an enemy you'd see them aiming their gun at you in Black Flag, and then you could be like, grab a person and use them as a shield. Now you have to dodge roll like 3 times. Like, did I?
And you can only do it one way.
Yeah, and you could. The timing on that isn't really skilled at all. It's just like, when's he gonna shoot? When's he gonna shoot? I'm also fighting 3 other guys, and they just took. It seems like they stripped a lot, but it does seem like this could be. Like, this could be the second one from the first Assassin's Creed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, the next generation first Assassin's Creed. Because there is no ship combat, which was amazing. Their water, to this day, I still think is the greatest looking water of any video game ever.
Season Pass, though, is supposed to open up many doors, but that is something...
Can go fuck itself.
Yes, exactly. Who wants to pay $30 for another game when you bought the game that you wanted to play? Yeah. Like, why can't I...
Wait, so you're saying you don't want to spend $90 for a video game?
The same game? Why should I pay $90 for this exact same game?
That's ridiculous.
I don't even know if I'm taking advantage of everything that this game has to offer, because there are at least 3 different huge aspects of this game that I have no idea how to use or operate or anything like that. There'll always be a notification like, hey, do initiate whatever bullshit and then get this. You're only a level 1 initiate. Like, I'm at sequence like 8 or 9 right now, and I've done all of the cooperative missions. Why am I still only level 1 initiative?
Yeah,
like, and then,
Unity, and then...
Yeah, you can't open the chest, right? The different colored chests.
How about they provide that for you if you actually do it, instead of showing you, like, oh, yeah, here's a chest here, but you can't touch it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, get that off of my map.
Yeah, you're just... Have you opened up your map? I dabble with opening up chests. Oh, my God. I'm like... Where am I? Somebody help me! I can't see what I'm... You know? And you got your right and left, right bumper. I get that, you know, to do missions and stuff. But holy Jesus, dude.
It's hard. You have to, like, zoom in like a mile just to find out where you are on the map. And then I still never know where I am, like where I'm facing specifically.
Yeah, that was upsetting.
Run, pause the map, see, and then like, okay. And then run a little more, pause, okay.
That's
this is the right direction.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's almost backwards. Like, I saw the symbol, and it's like the opposite way of where you're facing. And I was like, arrows, people! Arrows!
So, Brute, you are the only one who has actually beaten the game. Without any spoilers, the basics of the story, how did you like it?
Without any spoilers, it definitely is a standard game where you come up and you beat the mini-boss, and the mini-boss, and the mini-boss, and you work your way up to the ultimate bastard. You know, like that, I guess that's what I'll say, right? But reaching up to it, the cutscenes are gorgeous, you know? All the visuals and everything like that.
Graphics yet.
But,
really?
Yeah, man, I'm not pleased. I ended the game, and I remember walking around like in the game. I walked around in the game, and I was just like, so that was it? Like,
just like go down on your knees like, what now?
Yeah, like, the final boss scene is so anticlimactic that I was like, oh. Like, I really... I wish I want to spoil everything for you, because it would make it so much easier to explain, but I can't do that.
See,
I I would love to save people hours and hours of time if you would just let me. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of time.
I think it comes down to the... Have any of you guys played Just Cause 2?
No.
Have any of you guys played Red Faction Guerrilla?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit.
Red Faction.
So there, the story is just a very, thin bullshit story just to justify why you're in this world and having as much fun as you are. I feel like Assassin's Creed's always try to make this really epic, like, intermingling story with all of these awesome historical characters.
And events and things like that. Yeah, the king dying.
But they never, ever fall or come through. I feel like this one... They're not just trying to make a bullshit story just to justify you having all this awesome fun in this world. They are trying to here, come on, keep going, keep getting this new weapon, keep playing just to experience our story and world as a whole. But
that's where they fall short, though, is in you bring in a character and then you don't finish that character.
Are you talking about Napoleon?
Napoleon Bonaparte comes in, you do a cool thing. He knows everything. He's like a master genius, dude. You're just like, what? Like how? And what's in your thing? What is in? If you had played the game, you're gonna be like, I want to know what the glowing thing is. Okay.
So like a Pulp Fiction thing.
Yeah, I'm like, what is it? But then it's just like done. And you're like.
Could it be a part of the DLC? Like Napoleon Bonaparte's personal revolution.
See, if you want to play the game fully, get the season pass. And you're like, I don't want to, man.
The lack of story disappoints me. I was honestly excited. I was like, this story's going to be it for me because of... I talked to you about this, Tommik. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag story. To me, I can't remember specifically whether or not I legitimately cried at the end, but I know for a fact I teared up a lot. Like it came to my eyes a lot. There was like a holy what the no too much. Why did you do that? Oh! In this one, I was very much looking forward to. Call me a romantic, but I was looking forward to the romance aspect of this story. Like, could they do it well? This could be really cool. So far, I'm not pleased, and it doesn't sound like you're very pleased.
I guess this is the very first game that involves the French. That's not a romantic.
If you're looking for a good romance story, and you're about to play the end of the mission, the end of the whole thing, you are going to be disappointed.
She just farts on his chest and walks away.
Worse, worse, bro. I'm telling you, worse.
Damn it.
I'm going to probably beat it tonight now, just so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and what sequence are you on?
No idea.
8,
I don't really
9,
pay attention
5.
to that. I think I'm like 5 or 6.
I'm on 3.
That's crazy. You've probably played an equal amount of all of us, too. Like, you are the kind of guy who will just, like, side things? Let me clear everything up. But it becomes easier to clear everything up after you play the story missions.
Well, I'm beating all the higher missions without the story, so it's like...
Like, your red boxes are still probably all on the map. You're going to have to go all the way everywhere and upgrade your lockpick to the final one, so it's not moving at the speed of light for you to stop it.
All the other boxes are gone, though.
Now, there's another thing, too, is I have to wait till I'm sequence 12, 13, before I can have cool gadgets. Wasn't it just yesterday when I was like, oh my god, I have more than 2 shots in my Berserker thing. 2 shots! Like... I get that makes you have to be more stealthy and everything like that, but let's be honest, you're not going to be stealthy. You're in a bull in a china shop. You're a character that just wants to slice and dice people.
I think it was an ingenious thing where in the co-op missions, you will have a bar where every time you're spotted, that bar will go down, and that bar directly represents how much reward you'll get at the end. And so that is the only incentive that I personally need to be stealthy in an Assassin's Creed game. Unfortunately, the reward for that is the only reward for being stealthy in this game. Otherwise, just like honestly, rolling down a hallway with like 4 of your guys and taking on everybody.
There's no one safe. No one is safe.
It's really fun, but at the same time, when everything comes together, when you're like, okay, you assassinate that guy, I'll get these 2. You throw that on the count of 3. I don't think we've ever done that once with all 4 of us, but there has been a couple times where we've, semi-stealthily cleared out an entire building, and it was like really, really cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. that definitely pulls it all together and saves. It saved both releases.
But both releases, he's talking about the Master fucking Chief Collection.
Nope.
But I went information black on this. As soon as I saw the first video where he's like twirling down the building and moving very fluid-like and just like, oh my gosh, interacting with the environment in such amazing and beautiful ways, I was like, I'm buying it. And then co-op on top of that, yeah, absolutely. The second video and the very last video that I watched of it was them explaining co-op. And it was, this guy, he can spec out in being just an entire melee monster, destroyer of everything. This guy, he can unlock everything for you and buff you guys. And this guy, he's a stealth master. But really, we all pretty much unlock the same thing. Like, okay, double assassination. There's no downside to having that.
Yeah.
And that will be the first for most people to unlock. And that's another thing, too, is they're making things that were readily available in the previous games. You have to unlock them now. Mm-hmm. But, so there was supposed to be a sort of specialization aspect to the co-op, and I just don't see it whatsoever. Along with the fact that if you did spec out to be a melee guy, the stealth missions, which is most of the missions where your bar goes down if you're not stealthy, that melee guy is now fucking useless unless he's just like, waiting behind a corner for everybody to mess up and then run in and save him.
Yeah. Oh, shit, he sees me.
Or, the long range guy, there is nothing long range, like long range. There is nothing. Buy the pistol. Go ahead, buy that rifle. Spend all that money. You're going to shoot as far as I can shoot my little,
Okay, I was actually thinking about this because, Brute, you were complaining that you would be at a certain place and be aiming at the person and the reticle would be white, meaning that you weren't going to shoot him no matter what.
Yeah.
And then you would take one step forward and it would be red. My justification is, it's a bow and arrow, or it's a crossbow on his palm. Try aiming that in real life. Like, it'd be like Spider-Man, just like, what? Do I, look down my arm, or, how does this work? Not to mention how inaccurate it would be in real life, but I do understand what you're saying. It should have been it would have been cool if it was more of a white dot.
Maybe like a drop shot? Can if I get distance on that, kind of arc that thing, What can I do here?
That would actually be really cool, too. It just, shows an arc line. I was thinking, it's just one white dot at first. If the more you backed up, the more it expanded.
So you could miss.
Yeah, so exactly. There was a chance.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
But I'm talking, my guy was creep. Now I can shoot him. Now I can't. I was like, dude, come on.
Has anybody else have problems with missions, with guys not being there when they said they'd be there? Because I have this one mission, I have to follow this one dude. Every time I show up to him, he doesn't move. It's like, follow this guy. He just spins in circles. That's all he does. I'm just like, what?
Every single time, you reboot the game.
It's just he just spins there. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with him?
Something like that has only happened to me once, and that's I was on the run, so my map was yellow. People were chasing me, and I went into the place that I was supposed to go into, and the guy that I was supposed to talk to was there, and the only option I had was to strangle him to death. That was the only option I had. So I strangled him to death. I was like, okay, mission success, and then nothing happened. Nothing progressed the mission. Then the only other option I had was to kill him on the ground. He was just squirming on the ground. Then I killed him, and nothing progressed. And I was like, what do I do? So that, anyway, after I reloaded or died or whatever, you can't be on the run. You just go into the building, and then a cutscene will happen. So
every time I just killed myself, reloaded it, same thing.
Kill yourself? How do you kill yourself?
Just go to a bunch of red guys, beat them up, and have them shoot me.
Jump off a building.
Just...
Oh, really quickly, we need to end this in a minute or two, but the graphics, I just want to say, holy effing, oh my goodness, the faces are, and the hair in this game is still not that good, but it's the best hair I've seen in video games to date. And the faces, the teeth! I think that they articulate with their mouths more just to show off their teeth.
It does. It looks absolutely beautiful.
And then the fabric
and everything.
When you're in the jail fighting the guy and he's wearing this loose shirt and it's just the fabric is just bouncing. It's oh my gosh, what's going on here?
That next generation really coming through.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But you can't kill civilians, and I don't like that.
And I can't steal from people.
You can't accidentally.
And you can't still. Well, yeah. Actually, no. You can aim your gun at them and shoot them in the head. Then it does that whole he did not kill civilians.
Almost
whatever.
Why don't you stop having a stupid name?
Okay, are there any final thoughts? Let's wrap this. Okay, well, actually, first let's do whether or not you were happy with your purchase of this game and whether or not you recommend it. We'll do it really quick.
Oh, I'm 50-50. I have to beat the game so I can give. Because after what he said, now I'm worried, and now I have to beat it tonight. But as of right now, for the enjoyment that I had with co-ops, okay, if you have people to play with, I'd say do it. If you are more of a solo gamer, I'd say rent it.
Yeah. What do we root?
Same. If you're a solo gamer and you're a diehard Assassins fan, you could go out and buy it, but I would say rent it. If you're co-op, you know, that I would buy it to play with friends all the time, but man.
What about you, Rummy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Buy with friends, rent solo. I'm a side mission person, so yeah, I'm gonna have to beat the game, but that's gonna be a while.
If they had split screen co-op, even 2 players, I would say, and you have a friend that, you know, you guys enjoy playing video games together, I would say buy it. It's totally... No, rent, buy it. It's totally worth it.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I actually am considering taking it back, but I will say that the fun times that I had playing with, we all played together. Yeah. I mean, only with Rummy a few times, but those times were priceless and amazing in the Assassin's Creed universe. It was great to experience that with friends.
So the next...
If that's the experience you're looking for, I would say if all of you guys have a renting system available to you, rent it, get the co-op missions out of the way, and then take it back. Otherwise, don't. Even if you're a diehard Assassin's Creed fan, I would say this one is not worth your time. You know, gaining more of the overall story. You can just watch the cinematics on YouTube. So, also parkour. Try and get into a window. I forgot to bring that up, but just try and get into a specific. Point out a window and try and get into it easily. You won't do it.
You'll be sitting there jumping back.
It's almost to the point where you think your dude is screwing with you. It's like,
surely you
wait. Who's ever really tried to get through a window on a building? Let's just put it out there. Let's go. Come on, let's go outside and try and get through a window.
I climbed through that window all of the
time. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Put my foot up here.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Watch our video game rant views. Watch my video game fitness program if you want to get stronger and play longer. And I love all of you.